once again, the proud folks at Person-Centered Care Services are spreading Christmas cheer with their annual holiday drive as they bring toys to the kids here at PS 58. Well, one of the teachers was kind enough to take time out of the event to speak to us. It's Elena Portobello. It's really nice meeting you. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. What do you think of how this event is going today here in the class of 329?
I would say the kids are enjoying themselves. They're excited to get the gifts. They're excited to make a craft, and they probably love all the snacks.
Tell us about the partnership that you have going with the people at Person-Centered Care Services. They've been doing this for quite a long time. They've done 3 other events during the week, and this is the 4th taking place here at 58. What is it, or how does it make you feel knowing that this organization is going out of their way to take time out for the kids here?
It just means a lot to the community. These kids sometimes, they don't get to meet new people. They don't get to experience something like this. So to work with an agency that helps them now and we can make those parent connections now, it might be better for them in the future.
Tell me about the day you decided to be a teacher.
I think I was probably, 3rd or 4th grade, and we were home, and I come from a family of teachers, so we were playing house, and I always took on the role as teacher. So when college came around, that's how I knew. And then I had volunteered with the Grace Foundation one summer, and that's how I decided to get my my master's in special ed.
So which members of your family are teachers?
Both my parents. I have an aunt. And then now my sister's a speech therapist. And that's really, it was my parents basically were my influence.
Did they give you any advice on what to look for when you first went into the industry?
No, they just said, make sure that it's something that you truly enjoy, because if you don't, you won't be happy in it.
Tell me about your time here at 58. You have a really, really beautiful thing going on here. What's it like for you making your way to work every day, knowing that you're going to make a difference in a kid's life?
So I've been teaching for about 16, 17 years, I would say, and I started off in general ed, and then I went to the main site and worked with emotionally disturbed children, and then I came here. So the transition, really helped, spark my passion for learning again and for teaching again.
Is there a difference in between the levels of education that you teach? And if so, what would they be?
So I teach grades K to 5. So I have to, some of my students require, matching probes, or some kids can do writing and some kids are reading. So I really have to break it up by class, and then within that class, what type of groups I have.
Is there a hope that you have for down the road for yourself and for the school? And if so, what would it be?
I would just hope that right now we're working with 58 as being a collaborative school. So my hope is that one day we truly are collaborative and we're almost a seamless community in one building.
You seem to have some really good stuff going on here. Do you feel that the school has gotten enough resources in order to prosper for down the road?
I would say yes. And every year there's something more and something new that we're learning about. So I would say that, every year there's something else that's helping us grow and become better.
Tell me about what goes on in the classroom. Do you still teach the usual subjects, or is there something new that you bring to the table for the kids?
So right now I teach Foundations, which is a phonics program. So some classes I do that in, the kids that are at that level. And then one or two of my other classes, I'm working using their speech devices. So I will read them a story and we'll use their core vocabulary to answer the question so they can better learn how to navigate that device to help them in the future.
And how have the kids been in your classes?
The kids are great. A lot of times they're eager to learn, and then sometimes we have to work with how they're feeling and where they're at for the day.
Excellent job. Thank you so much. Continued success. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Without the people of PCCS, there would be no event today. Meet Kevin. He's one of the proud employees at Person-Centered Care Services, and he was kind enough to speak to us today. It's really nice meeting you, Kev. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you so much. Let's start from the very beginning. How did you make your way to PCCS?
I came from a different agency. I applied for the rehabilitation program. I worked in rehabilitation for maybe a year or two. I then went to the residential department, working in group homes and supported apartments, and became a residential manager briefly, and then found myself in the community relations department now.
For those who may not be familiar with the term, what is rehabilitation?
Sure. So in rehabilitation for people with disabilities, it is a volunteer-based rehabilitation where we go to different sites such as Meals on Wheels or soup kitchens for the mornings, where they volunteer for life skills or employment skills. Then they go to a recreation after they have their lunch, and it gives us something to do during the day. And yeah.
What made you decide to go into this sector?
I have a lot of family that has worked in the disability field, and honestly, days like today where we're working in the holiday drive and really supporting an inclusive environment where the children, for example, that we give gifts to will ask for the people that we support, that they see on a regular basis. It's kind of moments like that to see the kind of inclusion for people with disabilities and people without disabilities working together in a community kind of really drew me into the field.
I've been seeing you take a lot of photos of the kids today. Mm-hmm. What is it like for you seeing them not just interact with their teachers and their paras, but also to be receiving gifts today?
It's really wonderful, actually. I was aware of the holiday drive for a couple of years. This is our 5th year now. But this is the first time I've actively been a participant in it. So it's really wonderful to not only be able to see the events occur, seeing the kids so happy to see gifts that they specifically asked for, but also to be able to take those photos and really commemorate them and include them in our social media and be able to show the community what we do on a day-to-day basis and the impact that we can have in the community is really wonderful.
You've had just a few years on the job there. What has it been like working with the people that you work with?
I gotta say that I really genuinely love a lot of the people that we support. There are people that I've worked with as a manager or in the residential field, and they still call me to this day. There are people that we support that I invited over for Thanksgiving. The bond that you really build in this field and in this agency is incomparable, honestly.
You mentioned that you have family members that work in a similar sector. Did they give you any advice or words of wisdom about what to expect working in this field?
Well, I've been exposed to this field for many years since my mother was somebody who had worked in this field. So I've been around it for pretty much since I've been a teenager. So coming into this, I kind of knew what I should expect. There is a lot of things that being specifically in this agency and the changes that are being made in the field where they're more person-centered and really taking into account someone's preferences, that is interesting and really wonderful to see now. So as much as I expected things and knew what to expect, seeing them exceed those expectations was really, really great and really valuable.
You've been working with people with disabilities for quite a while now. What does the public have wrong about people with disabilities?
I think that there's definitely still a stigma. It's changing, but there's definitely still a stigma that is attached to people with disabilities. They're incapable of certain things that maybe we're all capable of. There's a certain limit that some people may believe that they have, and the abilities that they have not only meet ours but exceeds our expectations. So I think it's important that the community realize that they're just the same valuable members of society that we all are. The only difference being that they might need different supports or different environmental factors that they might have to take into account. But realistically, they get married, they pay taxes, they get jobs, and I don't think that people really are aware of the growth that they could have.
You have had quite the time over at PCCS. Tell everyone about a typical day on the job.
Wow. So it's a little interesting because my job is very fluid. So there may be a day where I'll tag along with a day habilitation group and go with them to a volunteer site to take some pictures. I might post on social media or on our blog or on our website a success story that maybe has occurred recently. I might work with several different departments on helping somebody when they just moved into their own apartment and kind of showcasing that in order to kind of expose everyone in the community to understand the abilities that they have. So realistically, it's very open and fluid to see what a day for me personally looks like.
Do you feel that enough is being done to help people with disabilities? And if so, what do you think of the progress that's been made? Or if not, what needs to be done further?
So I think that there's definitely a lot of progress that has been made. Even being in the field for roughly 10 years, thinking of my start in the field versus where we're at now as a field, as a society, a community, has definitely progressed in the right direction. I think that there's a growth that definitely can be made. A lot of times we understand that we can be accessible to people with disabilities, but what that accessibility might mean or what the supports might be that they need definitely need to be considered for a lot of people in the community. And there's still progress that definitely needs to be made, and there always will be, to support people individually for whatever it is that they need.
To wrap up, let's say somebody wants to work in this field. What advice can you give them?
The best advice I could give is this is something that comes from the heart. This is something that you need to have a love for, a passion for, because the moments that really make it worth it aren't a paycheck or days off. It's really days like today where we have a holiday drive and seeing the people that we support included in the community with the children that are in these schools. These are the moments that really make it worth it. So you have to kind of have the right heart for it. And if you do, it's an incredibly gratifying experience.
Kevin, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Continued success and good luck to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So we were kind enough to have the Deputy Executive Director at PCCS join us. It's Alexa Donnelly. It's very nice meeting you. Merry Christmas. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. What made you decide to get into this line of work?
My mom had been in this line of work since before I was born, so I guess you could say I was born into it.
Did she give you any advice on what to expect?
I think the best advice she gave me is to expect the unexpected.
How do you feel about how this event is going today?
Oh, it's beautiful. We were very lucky this year to be able to do a lot more sites for PS373 than we used to be able to do.
Does one memory of this drive stand out over all the others?
For this year specifically, I would say that we had one child that yesterday at the Petrides site that asked for a present for his younger sister, and so he was very happy to get that present, but he didn't know that he was also going to get a present for himself, so he was very excited. And so the people we support were excited to be able to give him both of those.
Is there a hope that you would like to see happen with the organization? And if so, what would it be?
I think in terms of our partnership with PS373, it's really our hope is to be able to develop these relationships and the children that are supported through the schools and the adults that we support at PCCS to be able to do activities together. Right now they have an art project that they're doing every week, so we're hoping at all the different locations we can get a different type of project going.
Do you get involved in the planning process of the event at all?
Yes, absolutely. I started the event with my fiance about 4 or 5 years ago.
How did the idea originate?
It was my fiance's first year being a para in a public school, and she just happened to have a classroom that a lot of the kids were in and out of foster care. So she decided that it was something we should do. So we began it that year with the second grade class. And then the year after that, I was the day hub manager at PCCS, and we realized that it could be a great activity for the adults that we were supporting to be able to crowdfund and work off of a budget and specific lists from what the kids wanted and create teacher appreciation gifts. And so we did the whole second grade class for the second year. And then the third year, we took on the whole school. And from there, it's grown to a majority of their sites.
How do you feel about how this event has grown in the last 4 or 5 years?
It's really beautiful, but also very surprising. We didn't have exact plans for this.
Do you have any future plans for this event? And if so, what would they be?
I think that we would love for this event to grow even larger than PS373 and create connections with a lot more classrooms that are integrated and have kids with disabilities and kids without disabilities. And so the people we support in our day hub can be involved in neurotypical classrooms as well.
Great meeting you. Happy holidays to you. Thank you so much. Continued success. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much. You too.
This is our guardian angel for today. It's Alyssa D'Agosto, our longtime friend from Person-Centered Care Services, for whom this event would not be possible without her help and her hard work. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you.
What is it like seeing all of these kids and the teachers being so happy today?
Oh, it is an emotional roller coaster. So many great tears have been shed in the last 4 days. Seeing these children opening up the presents that they specifically asked for has been nothing but a dream. It really gets better and better each year. This is now our 5th year running this holiday drive, and we're just growing more and more, so it's just fantastic.
Did you ever have that one Christmas wish that you always wanted?
Yes, I did. I've always wanted world peace, and I'm hoping we get there one day.
Absolutely excellent. For the people who may not be familiar with the organization, what is Person-Centered Care Services?
So Person-Centered Care Services is a nonprofit organization on Staten Island that provides services to people with developmental disabilities. We have a day habilitation program, a community habilitation program, career supports, residential supports, and we have a lot of fun events too.
Now, does the organization have a main office, or do you have multiple offices?
We have one main office on Granite Avenue, and we have 2 group homes.
Tell us about what happens in the group homes.
So in the group homes, we have a few individuals that live there full time with their staff, and it's a group home, so they just live there, just like you and I live in our homes.
Tell me more about this holiday drive. What are its origins, and how do you feel the drive has grown in the last few years?
So the holiday drive started about 5 years ago, where a teacher from PS 373 came to Person-Centered Care Services with the idea of having a non-traditional toy drive, where we would go to the classrooms and specifically ask these children who have developmental disabilities what it is that they want specifically for Christmas. So through crowdfunding, generous donors, and the good hearts of the community, we were able to raise money and buy those specific toys that they asked for, as well as crafts and snacks. And from 5 years ago to now, we now have 5 locations that we donate to, where we started out in just 2. So 5 years has gone by, and now we're giving over 450 students gifts that they wished for.
Your event has grown so much that you now have it over a span of 4 days.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the growth of the event?
Oh, the growth of the event is astronomical, and feelings-wise, I can't even put a phrase on it, because it's just a dream. We never would have thought starting this 5 years ago to now it would have been possible, but it is, and we can only go higher and higher from here.
Tell me about a typical day at work. What's it like for you?
No 2 days are ever the same at work. I'm lucky enough to be able to do jobs like this and just see the grateful faces of the people that we're impacting and supporting every single day. So yeah, it's a roller coaster of amazing emotions.
One thing that we learned about you is that you're a very strong and intelligent woman. You could have chosen any career path, yet you chose helping people. Why?
Because you cannot put a price on helping people. You cannot put a price on, impacting the community in such a positive way. And seeing these children's faces this entire week has been nothing but showing me and teaching me lessons of how to be grateful. And I just can't thank, the community enough for this.
Do you feel that enough is being done to accommodate people with disabilities? And if not, what do you feel needs to be improved?
I think that we're going on the right track. I think even in just this year, we've seen so many changes and improvements in the services that are able to be provided to these people with disabilities. We have new programs that we started. So if you ask me, from December of last year to December of this year, we've really been able to help so many more people. So it's really been great.
Aside from this event, it seems like what you do is really tireless work. How does it make everyone at the office feel knowing that you've been able to help so many kids and also put smiles on their faces?
Oh, I think our entire agency is so grateful that we were able to do this. I mean, we have a room full of volunteers that came so eager to see the reactions on these children's faces. So it's been nothing short of impressive and, gratefulness.
Is there a hope that you would like to see happen? And if so, what would it be?
I mean, my hope is that we could eventually raise enough money where we could even make the budget even higher and give these kids even more than what we're able to provide now. Hopefully even get some more locations, because we just want to see this event grow and prosper each year and be able to help them as much as we can and make their holiday dreams come true.
In addition to the schools, what other sources do you help when it comes to people with disabilities?
We help people from ages 3 to 103. So no matter what stage of life you're in, we're here to help, and we want to help best accommodate you however we can.
Happy holidays to you. Thank you so much. Great job, by the way, and good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays.
And I'm Jamie Hickson, wishing you a happy holidays, and also do all you can to help support people with disabilities. Thank you for your time.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you for today.
Thank you for today. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on horse open sleigh.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.